A few weeks ago I put out a video where I talked about the Hitbox Arcade controller. Learning difficulties was one of the topics in that video. I also bought Tekken 7 when it was on sale, not really having played Tekken much since Tekken 5 DR, and I think I'd like to talk a little more on the subject of learning difficulties. Please do the like button and the subscribe button and bell notification if you want to see more content like this. If you didn't like the video, no worries, feel free to hit the dislike button also, I appreciate the feedback either way. I started playing Tekken shortly after the first game was released on the PS1. Remember, no arcade, so the original PlayStation was my first contact with this series. Being the little prepubescent anime-loving weep I was, Kazuya was the one and only choice to go with. Fun fact, even though my Twitch and Twitter, as well as some other profiles of mine have Kazuya in their handle, it doesn't actually have anything to do with Kazuya Mishima. Barely 2 minutes in, I've already gone off script. In any case, I picked Kazuya, but I had no real idea what I was doing. Same story for Tekken 2 really. Tekken 3 though, me now being a few years older and all, Kazuya not being available, not liking Jin, I started shopping around for a new character. Also, my friends were all really into Tekken 3 as well. Whereas before I was kind of just playing Tekken by myself, I could now play with them. Having someone to play against also means that you want to get better, so training mode, all of a sudden, became really attractive. This was the first game where I really started to try to learn movement, offense and defense. Bear in mind though that this was still before having an internet connection was the standard, so my overall approach and list of priorities wasn't good. It's not really important, but just in case you're interested, I started out playing Nina for the longest time in Tekken 3. Over time I switched over to Paul and continued to play Paul throughout the games all the way into Tekken 6, even though I only played Tekken 6 for a couple of weeks at best and skipped Tag 2 entirely. Tekken 7 on PSN was, as I mentioned in the beginning, on sale for $9.99, and at that price I thought I wouldn't regret the purchase either way, so I bought it. I wanted to play another character though, something cool, flashy, and something that I would find difficult, at least to start out with. Why Heihachi? I don't really know where to start. He's funny, he's got a pet bear, he's got electrics, he's got Omen, hell sweeps, several weird extremely situational counter parry things, and I love his voice actors. May they both rest in peace. I had honestly forgotten how intricate and precise your inputs need to be in Tekken. Now Tekken is and has always been the only 3D fighter I've put a good amount of time into, so I can't speak for other 3D fighters, but at least when compared to 2D fighting games, the amount of directional input that goes into any given Tekken match is insane. It does not mean that Tekken is inherently more difficult to learn, it's just different from what I'm used to these days. My muscle memory, which mostly relates to Paul's moveset, is somewhat useless now. Paul is a very straightforward character. Yes, in high level play that might be debatable, but my game plan played out like this. Hit a few ones, maybe a sidestep 3, then get your spacing straight, and as soon as you see a button... Hold on, is that a wall splat? So as you can see, I wasn't exactly doing big brain plays here, right? Now playing a Mishima, with the theoretical knowledge I have of wave dashing, electrics, Omen and hell sweeps, is next to the basic maneuvering that you have to do anyways quite a lot to take in. Then you try any of these things you've seen in high level matches and realize that without a good amount of execution practice, none of it works. I've decided to take it step by step, and just like in the good old days with Tekken 3, I'm not going with a logical approach. In Street Fighter and even Granblue Versus, the two cornerstones I try to nail down as early as possible with my character of choice is to anti-air consistently and to block punish. The anti-air part can be scratched for Tekken anyway, but I usually never start out trying to do extremely complicated or difficult to execute combos. There's simply no point because if I don't know how to open up my opponent, I won't be able to execute their combo anyway. So what was the first thing I wanted to learn with Heihachi in Tekken 7? That's right, the 6 EWGF combo. Why? Because I'm dumb and my thinking goes like this: if I can learn this, do it consistently, I don't need any other combos. Is that realistic? Nah. Would I do it anyway? Yeah. So what have I learned so far then? 5 electrics with an awful success ratio, and out of frustration because I can't get the 6 EWGF combo to come out, I also learned how to do an electric out of a wave dash, which is nice. More importantly however, I learned a lot more about movement in Tekken 7. I don't exactly know what it is, but starting with Tekken 6, and that might just be me, the character started to feel a lot heavier to move with. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't really feel like playing Tekken 6 for very long. In Tekken 7 with Heihachi, I started to really get used to moving and positioning myself correctly. Most of the time. My execution is still pretty shoddy in actual matches, meaning I can barely get a combo out that does more than like 30 to 40 damage, but it's getting better. I'm mainly playing Tekken 7 with my friends at the moment, but once I feel a little more confident with my execution, I might actually hit up ranked to see how far I can get. I've tried ranked out before, and unlike GBVS, there's actually people to play against. You don't have to wait 30 minutes just to be greeted by a laggy Wi-Fi match. You can have that in just a few minutes in Tekken 7. Yay! Tekken 7 is one of the more popular fighting games currently available. What do you think about the game, its online infrastructure, depth, and its characters? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and follow me on Twitch and Twitter if you frequent those platforms. The links are, as always, in the description. Once again, I thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. My name's Sasa, and I will see you in the next video.